Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at how Demiurge could counter the most important floor guardian in Nazarick and potentially even entire world-class items, despite his moderate combat power. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as a thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's get to the topic at hand. Demiurge was created by Ulbert Alain Odell, and his entire existence is a tribute to Ein Sulgon, because Ulbert, the man with the devastating magical attack that he could only use once due to mana limitations, the man with the cloak and the edgy eye patch, essentially the equivalent of Megumin from Konosuba in terms of personality, was naturally thrilled by the idea of his friend Momonga, which was Ein's name at the time, Ein's name at the time, had built his character not for maximum efficiency or damage output, but for role-playing purposes, and this was quite unusual in the highly competitive online game Yggdrasil Online, especially since both were members of the Player Killer Guild that actively hunted other players, and an infamous at that one. And this guild, as a whole, engaged in highly competitive battles and even had a world champion among their ranks. However, Ein still preferred to create a role-playing build that matched his image as the formal leader and guildmaster of Nazarick. Even though he was the official guildmaster though, Ein Sulgon was neither a commander nor a dictator, and decisions were always made democratically by a simple majority vote. But for Ulbert though, the idea of a tyrannical undead overlord was an inspiration, and with this in mind, he created Demiurge. And Demiurge, while he's still strong, is more of a leader and a commander type than a purely brutal melee fighter or caster, even though he is still well equipped for combat for various reasons, as demonstrated in the fight against Evil Eye, because after all, he is still a level 100 being. And because Demiurge was created by Ulbert in Ein Sulgon's image, he is also so loyal to Ein's, because that was Ulbert's will. And just as Ein's formerly had the authority to command the 40 other players, Demiurge was granted the ability to command other beings, and this ability is embodied in his skill, the command mantra. And this skill allows him to control others through voice commands, compelling them to follow his orders, if they are under the level of 40. And Demiurge has used this ability often, for example against the lizardmans of the Great Lake at the foot of Azalesia, or in Volume 7, where he forced the followers of Emperor and ally Jerknif to bow down and kneel before Ein Sulgon, and Jerknif himself was unaffected only thanks to a specific item. And again, in general, this ability is incredibly powerful, as it allows Demiurge to control any being under the level of 40, just like Ein Sulgon controlled, at least formally, 40 other beings, and issue them commands at will. So in other words, Demiurge can easily bring entire nations under his control, similar to how Saruman, in The Lord of the Rings, manipulated rulers and kings to serve him through magical means. And this very tactic likely occurred when Demiurge attacked the Holy Kingdom as well, because he had already eliminated the real Prince Caspont beforehand, and later replaced other leaders with doppelgangers. So it's essentially a classical alien infiltration scenario, where more and more people from the government, the economy, and the media are replaced by otherworldly beings, but in this case demonic doppelgangers, all without raising suspicion. And care was taken to avoid obvious mistakes, such as demons being spotted flying low over cities like Lloyds or Kalinsha, which would lead to uncomfortable questions for the government. In any case, through this ability to dominate lower-level beings, from Demiurge's perspective at least, he can effortlessly control entire nations from the shadows, and as long as the enemies are in range, Potentially entire armies could be subjugated, with part of them forced to attack the others. And I am certain that this type of mind control, controlling somebody else's body and steering them like a puppet, with their strings yet uncut, while they remain fully conscious, is an incredibly cruel way to force someone to fight against another. And this idea that you are aware of what your own body is doing, yet unable to intervene, is truly terrifying. It's as if your sleep paralysis demon were controlling you like a marionette. But this ability to control the actions of opponents with one's voice has another aspect that only recently became clear to me. Demiurge, with his command mantra ability, is a hard counter to another extremely powerful ability found in the Great Tomb of Nazarick, namely that of the Floor Guardian Victim. Because as the name suggests, Victim is designed to sacrifice itself in battle, and its death triggers a wave of status changes and other negative effects on Nazarick's enemies. However, Victim is only level 35, so he is below level 40, and thus fundamentally susceptible to Demiurge's command mantra. In other words, even if someone were to control Victim from afar, like what happened to Shelly Bloodfallen when she was mind-controlled by the Black Scripture, an elite unit of the slain theocracy, Demiurge could still issue commands to the mind-controlled victim and bring it back under Nazarick's control. And this is simply because Victim isn't strong enough as a level 35 entity to resist Demiurge's ability. So just like Entoma Vasilisa Zeta was able to resist a magical attack, but her various insects, controlled by her, had to resist on their own merit their own strength and abilities and were thus affected by a gravity-negating attack. Demiurge could still control Victim even while he himself is controlled by a world-class item, simply because he himself is too weak to resist his attack. And the fact that Demiurge carried Victim in his very arms when Sebastian underwent his loyalty test was a brilliant move, because Demiurge likely knew that in the event Victim was placed under mind control, the most precious target, now that Einsolgon was played by Pentor's actor, he could still use command mantra to issue orders. And this was an extra layer of security to guard against further mind control attempts of the Floor Guardians. So in that one scene, there's so much brilliancy and so many nuances that even years later you can find new plot threads within it. But enough about Overlord for now. Now it's your turn. What's your opinion on Demiurge and how he could potentially control Victim using his command mantra? Do you think that a world-class item might also be able to override the command mantra, even though Victim is still under the level of 40? Let me know it down in the comment section. And with that said, please also check out my German channel, my fantasy channel, and if you don't want to listen to my voice or accent, but are still interested in the things I have to say, I have made an AI channel, narrated by almost a woman, where I use AI voiceovers for my videos, and the channels are linked down in the video description. Also please check out my Patreon if you want to support me beyond just leaving a like or sub, and with that said I say thank you very much for watching, thanks to my Patreons for supporting this channel, and special thanks to Order Daddy Order, ASK, Bad Girl Yee, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon S, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Din Pep, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Le Louche Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikien Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Ruru, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Sonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.